Hello, fellow business owners. Have you ever felt the weight of endless tasks and the constant battle with overwhelm? Well, I know I have, and I know this can make you feel run down and demotivated, and it can be a struggle to see how it's all going to get easier. So in this session, I'm going to go through 3 steps that you can take this week to help you reduce your overwhelm so you can start to feel more balanced, have less stress, and feel more energized. So I'm Christina, and I've supported corporates and small businesses to become more streamlined and systemize their business to help them scale or step back from the day-to-day operations. And the issue is that often business owners have started the business themselves. So initially they had to do everything themselves. And then when the work started coming in, they had to get people on board to help with everything. But here's the thing, most of the time, this is done in a really organic way because most business owners are so busy during the startup phase that they don't have time to sit there and plan out exactly how to do every single task to the right standard. They're still trying to figure it out themselves often. So what happens is this can lead to chaotic growth. It can lead to systems that are disjointed and inefficient, and ultimately team members who don't work together particularly well and don't know 100% what they need to be doing. So that means that a lot of the decisions still rest with the business owner, and this can lead to a lot of overwhelm. So what steps can you take this week to overcome it? Well, number 1 is about prioritizing and delegating. So you need to start by listing all the tasks and responsibilities which are currently on your plate. Identify which ones are truly crucial for the success of your business. And then once you've identified those top priorities, you can delegate all of the rest of the tasks out to your team or outsource them to another business if you need to. But you need to trust your team's capabilities and you need to empower them to take on these responsibilities. So people often say that they've tried to delegate in the past and it hasn't worked. And it's not just a case of saying to somebody, oh, do this. You've got to do it in a certain way so that they are given everything that they need and they are supported so that they can do the task to the required standard. Now, letting go of those tasks might initially feel quite challenging, but you need to remember that delegation is a step towards achieving a more balanced and less overwhelming work life. And your team is there to support you. Number 2 is time blocking and schedule optimization. So this is when you're going to implement time blocking into your daily schedule. So this is where you allocate specific blocks of time to specific tasks. So it could be focused work that you have to do. Perhaps you are doing some quoting, or you're writing a bid, or you're putting together a presentation, something where it requires your thought and some deep thinking. It could also be things that you don't like doing. So perhaps you're still doing some of the accounts work yourself, or not saying that you don't like accounts, but some people don't. But so create these blocks of time where you will work solely on that piece of work, and then try and stick to those blocks as closely as possible throughout the day. And try to limit multitasking, because if you multitask, then that often will lead to feeling scattered and feeling overwhelmed, and none of the tasks get done as well as they should do. So focus on one task at a time during your allocated blocks, and try to then embrace that satisfaction of actually getting things done to completion and being able to tick it off your to-do list. What happens is you'll not only accomplish more, but you'll also reduce the stress which is associated with juggling multiple things simultaneously. Now, what I would suggest is that if you're starting with time blocking, do it in small chunks. So you may just start with 20-minute blocks, and you don't want to have your whole day time blocked. So if at the moment you are very kind of fluid in the way that you work, then maybe just start by putting a couple of small blocks in, maybe 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. Start small, 25 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. And then you can build those up. And you don't ever want to have your whole week time blocked, because you need to allow for those other things coming in as well. And then step number 3 is to set boundaries and to do some self-care as well. So I know it's really, 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 really difficult when you're a business owner to avoid bringing work-related stress home, but you do need to try as hard as you can to disconnect from all of that work stuff. Now, it might not be that you can the moment you leave the office that you can disconnect until, you're back in, but try to at least identify blocks of time where you're going to turn all your notifications off, you're going to turn all your emails off, and that is purely time for you to do whatever it is that you want to do in that time. It might be exercise, meditation, reading, spending time with loved ones, just relaxing, anything that's going to bring you joy and relaxation. And remember that taking care of yourself, it's not selfish. Okay, it's essential for maintaining emotional well-being, because when you're rested and rejuvenated, you're going to be much more effective in handling your business challenges. So these 3 steps taken throughout the week, they can make a significant difference in reducing overwhelm and restoring balance to your business and to your personal life. So embrace these changes with the understanding that you're taking vital steps towards a more fulfilling and less overwhelming entrepreneurial journey. But this is only one step in that journey. So to fully reduce overwhelm, you need to create a business that essentially runs without you. It runs like a well-oiled machine. And that's what I help business owners do in my Systemize to Scale blueprint. So if you'd like to find out what other steps you need to take to create that business that runs like clockwork, then you can watch the free training that I have, which goes into the system. You'll also, if you sign up to that, you'll also get some free guides and some free resources that go much more in depth into what we've talked about today. So how to delegate really effectively, how to recoup 10 hours per week, and how to have the business run without you. So if you want, sign up to the free training, learn the steps to take to have that business running like a well-oiled machine in 90 days. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.